Hey, it is Friday. Welcome into your go-to show for sports here on the Shore. Delmarva Sports Insider. I'm WMDT Sports Director Anthony Joseph.
And I'm Chris Brunk. Thank you for joining us. We've got so much to get into tonight, isn't that right, Anthony?
We always do. Let's go what we have in store for you tonight. It's another jam-packed program. We're going to have a recap of the Delmarva Shores game. Can they win 3 in a row? We hope so. Also, I'm sitting down with the Greens, Jody and Reagan Green, to discuss Laurel softball.
And 2 former local players are back in the first state for a regional tournament in softball. And also, UD softball player Morgan Hess talks about the key to throwing a no-hitter. But first, Anthony, we have to get into what happened at the Bayside Girls Track and Field Championships.
There's a lot of good action. You had the Cambridge boys taking home the Bayside Championship for track and field yesterday. Could the Lady Vikings complete the sweep, Chris?
Let's find out.
A great crowd coming on to watch the best of the Bayside. For the Kent County girls, it was Lacey Dawsey's taking first place in the 800 and 400 meter. The Bucks finished third overall with 76 points. Parkside took home the 4x100 and 4x200 relays with Rihanna Corbin and Amaya Sturgis bringing in gold in the 100 and 200 meter sprints for the Rams. 4th overall finish for Parkside. It was Cambridge that finished Bayside champs with 100 points total. Leanza Todd and Tishawn Bolin at the top of the podium for high and long jumps. In the second place overall for the girls, it was James and Bennett with 89 points, thanks in part to Jacola Tredor finishing second in the discus and first in the shot put, setting a new personal best and meet record of 41 feet and 4.5 inches. Here she is on her accomplishment and high expectations she holds.
It feels nice. I'm just really happy that I've been able to work to this point since freshman year. This meet I expected to get first, but I'm really aiming towards getting first in the state.
Well, before this year, Selbyville Middle School had never even fielded a lacrosse team. Now, after years of effort, organization, and fundraising, the 2025 season saw the first year of competition for both boys and girls lacrosse at Selbyville, with 39 boys and 28 girls signing up to play. Dozens of young athletes finally got the chance to wear their school colors on the lacrosse field. This week, the boys team faced off against Sussex Academy, and they came out on top. With that victory, they secured an undefeated season, going a perfect 6-0 in their first ever season in program history. Pretty cool. Head coach Charles Gibson talks about how important it was for them to establish this program in the first place.
So we wanted to get this because we felt there was a real need for a feeder program for the high school. You know, the Beach program feeds Stephen Decatur. You have Atlantic and the Cape middle schools that feed Cape. And we really had a big need for the students to do this here. You know, we had 39 kids come out this year, so it was a pretty good cause for us to have a team. Overwhelming support for the community, the fans, parents, everybody that fought to make this happen. We wouldn't be here without you guys.
Former Parkside Rams player Miranda Mears is working hard in practice to get ready for the NCAA lacrosse playoff action. The SU women's lacrosse team had a remarkable season as they achieved 14 wins and only 4 losses. The Salisbury University lacrosse team is gearing up to host the first and second rounds of the bracket beginning tomorrow and ending on Sunday. The first round game will be 19th ranked NPI and St. Mary's at noon. SU will play the winner of that game on Sunday in the second round of the Division III tournament at Seagull Stadium. Mears talks about the expectations for the remainder of the season.
I came to the school so I could, bring hopefully a championship back to the city. So, it just means a lot. I'm in my own town, so, I just want to do everything and do my part so, our team can go all the way down to the national championship again.
Now to some basketball. Former Queen Anne's basketball player Vincent Gilberto has transferred to play for the Chesapeake Skipjacks. Gilberto was a 2024 grad and most recently played Division III ball for DeSales. The Skipjacks are getting a 6'9" combo guard. This coming after they signed Cambridge South Dorchester's Kobe Ennels. Head coach Andy Sachs reloading his roster, looking to build on what was a great year for Chesapeake.
Stay updated while we're at these games in real time.
Make sure to follow WMDT Sports on Facebook and X right now.
College softball. Morgan Hess started playing softball at a young age, and from there her passion grew for the game of softball. Now on the UD softball team, she's enjoying a really good career. She has won the Conference Player of the Week award 3 times, and she has thrown 2 no-hitters in her career. She pitches, she hits for the Lady Blue Hens. Hess, when she plays, she has a big smile on her face, and she loves every minute of playing for the Lady Blue Hens. Her ERA 2.41, and she bats .359. She has 59 hits, and she likes the long ball, 8 home runs. Hess talks about the key to throwing a no-hitter.
I don't actually think about it until like maybe the last out. I think the last one I didn't realize it until the last out, and I was like, please catch the ball. But yeah, I don't really think about it. Honestly, I don't. My thing with pitching is I don't throw a lot of strikeouts, so I rely a lot on my defense, and so when they're doing really well, that means I'm doing well. So I think a lot of it is them and being able to make those crazy good plays, and also just being able to make those routine plays really quickly. And there's usually a slapper or two, and so letting them make the plays. That's kind of my philosophy.
Well, Salisbury men's lacrosse has been dominant this season, outscoring opponents by an average of 10 goals per game. The Goals are 19-0, earning themselves a first-round bye in the NCAA tournament. SU hosting the second and third round games of that tournament here in Salisbury. They'll have St. Mary's College of Maryland coming to town at Siegel Stadium, 3:30 p.m. this Saturday for the first game of what many people would expect to be another deep postseason run. Salisbury already played St. Mary's this season. They defeated them 15-7 in their regular season matchup back on April 15th. If the Seagulls can do it again, they'll be facing the winner of Dickinson and Denison in the third round of the tournament.
The East Regional's NCAA softball tournament is being held at Goldie Beacom College. Sussex Central player Maya Jones and former Polytech Panther Kate Bukowski plays for Bridgeport College. And back in the first state, yesterday they lost 7-5 to Goldie Beacom. Today they were back in action against SNHU in a double emulation game. They lost 4-2 as Jones went 2 for 3 with an RBI. They ended the year 33-16. Jones talks about being back in Delaware, playing softball and playing in the games.
It does feel a little fun being back here. I just hope to go far. Being back home, it feels good. It shows, the double elimination shows who wants it, you know? So this next game, we'll see who wants it, and we'll see who comes out fired up.
We're calling our first time out, Chris, but when we return, we're sitting down with former Laurel softball head coach Jody Green as she talks about winning back-to-back state titles, and Reagan talks about what advice she gives student athletes.
We've got that and more when Delmarva Sports Insider returns.
Jim Berkman, Salisbury University men's head lacrosse coach. Man, am I excited to be watching Delmarva Sports Insider.
Back to Delmarva Sports Insider. I'm WMDT Sports Director Anthony Joseph. Today, special guest, former softball head coach Jody Green and her daughter Reagan Green. Coach Green, I really appreciate you being here. As the former coach, I know you keep up with the current team. They had a big win against Lake Forest, 5-4. What are your thoughts on that huge victory?
Well, Laurel has the capability. They haven't had the season they probably hoped for, but Lake Forest went into this undefeated and Laurel pulled it out. I liked how they changed up the lineup a little bit, Coach Whaley, and I think it paid off.
You know, what advice, would you give the coach?
Oh, she's doing a good job. It's hard to work with girls, and everybody knows that. Every day something different, but I think they're doing a good job, and hard work is the key.
Now, Laurel, you won a state championship 2013 against Polytech, and then back in 2014, you defeated Caravelle. Talk about just winning back-to-back state championships.
Well, that first one is really sweet, and the second time you have a lot of pressure. You feel like there's a bullseye on your back, but we had the team, and the girls had tasted it, and they worked hard, and they took advantage of it.
Now, Reagan, as a player, you played, for your mother. She was the coach. How did it feel playing for her and winning a state championship?
It was very special. Not many people get to do that, and let alone win a state championship, but then play for their mom. It's a very unique experience, but it's something I'll never get to experience again.
How would you, describe that season or really both years, winning back-to-back, which not many get to say they're champions 2 years in a row.
Yeah, the first year, like my mom said, was very sweet. We had never done it before. And the second year was even better because we didn't really expect it again. We planned on it and we prepped as much as we could and practiced, but it gets harder and harder. And the more you pitch and play against people, the more they know what you throw and they know what you can do.
Now, you also participated in the Little League World Series in Roxana. How would you describe that experience?
Oh my goodness, I was so young when that was happening, but I think it definitely did help me prepare for the next level. That was my freshman year of high school going into it, and then when we won our state championships, it was my sophomore and junior. So it helped prepare. When you're on a big stage, it makes it a little bit easier the more you do it.
Now, Coach Green, Laurel High School, they have a lot of respect for you. The softball field is named Jody Green Field. What are your thoughts on them recognizing you for all your accomplishments with that?
Well, that was very humbling, and it is special. When I go out there, it kind of feels funny when I look at the scoreboard and I see my name, and I see pictures posted on Facebook of the scoreboard, and I see my name. But it's neat, it's special. And it's really weird because my maiden name was Fields.
Oh.
So it's kind of like my name thrown around, but that was very nice of Laurel.
Reagan, what do you think of that?
It was very neat. I wish I could have been there. I was away at college, but I thought it was awesome. And then I used to play out there myself and give lessons, and so it was very cool to look up on the scoreboard and it's my mom's name.
Now, you played at Mississippi State, then Baylor. What advice do you give these student athletes that would like to follow in your footsteps one day?
It's a lot of work, I would say, to work as hard as you can go and work even more than what you think you need to. Your body can do more than what you think it can, but hard work pays off.
You know, as a pitcher, what was the key to have success?
Probably be mentally strong and tough. You have the practice, you practice every day, your body knows what to do. At that point, it's really more of a mental aspect, kind of letting the hits go and not getting caught up in all of it.
What is the biggest challenge adjusting from high school to college?
Oh, definitely the work. It was a lot more work. It is like a job.
Oh, wow.
It's a fun job though, and it's very unique. But it is a whole different ball game.
Now we are winding up. The time's flying. Coach Green, what advice do you give hitters that one day want to go to college and hit that tough pitching?
Practice. I work with a couple of girls a week, and you have to practice. You have to put in the time if you want to get in that box and hit against some good pitching.
Anything else you would tell student athletes as they're making their journey?
You have to grind. It's not something that's easy because you might be a superstar around here and then you go to college and you're just going to be one of many superstars.
You know, that's a really great point. Well, thank the two of you for being here. Really appreciate it. Back to you, Chris.
Well, coming up, a Georgetown man has been arrested after allegedly kidnapping an adult victim. Plus, find out why Moms Demand Action plans to turn the Rehoboth Beach Boardwalk orange. We'll have those stories and more coming up after the break.
I'm Dylan Grice from Indiana High School. You're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.
Welcome back, Delmarva. 10,000 baby birds recovered from a misdirected USPS shipment in Dover. The Delaware Department of Agriculture says that the birds were bound for destinations all over the United States, sent from Freedom Ranger Hatchery in Pennsylvania back in April. The flock included chicks, turkeys, geese, quail, and chukars. About 4,000 of the birds were dead by the time they arrived at First State Animal Center. The surviving birds were rehabilitated and eventually rehomed. The First State Animal Center will make an announcement next week about putting the birds up for adoption. Meanwhile, hatchery officials are unsure of how the birds ended up in Delaware and are investigating. Meanwhile, the Dorchester County Health Department satellite office in Cambridge has moved. Starting this Monday, vaccinations and respiratory virus testing will be provided at 627 Brace Street. This will bring almost all of the health department services under one roof. The office's phone number has also been updated. To make an appointment, call 443-521-3602. Well, Moms Demand Action will be turning the Rehoboth Beach Boardwalk orange to raise awareness on gun violence. Signs will be provided to those who attend the event. The Be Smart information program will also be there to inform parents on how to safely store their guns. There will also be a memory board to acknowledge gun violence survivors and their loved ones.
It is a way for us in this community to begin to normalize the conversation about gun ownership and lift up survivors.
Everyone attending is encouraged to wear orange. The event is Friday, June 6th from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the Rehoboth Beach Boardwalk Bandstand. And the Brandywine Valley SPCA is cutting back adoption fees for adult dogs 30 pounds and up. Potential adopters are invited to stop by at any of the adoption locations in Delaware. Fees will only be $25. Event organizers are encouraging people to come out and adopt some of these big guys.
Folks are welcome to come in, meet our dogs, and like I said, welcome one home that same day. Folks that want to adopt should stop in and talk to our adoption counselors about, what they're looking for, what kind of lifestyle they have.
The deal runs through Sunday, May 18th. For more information, visit vvspca.org. Now let's turn to Chief Meteorologist Rich Werdzik. Rich, Mother Nature has a gift for all the moms out there this weekend.
You're right about that. We're going to start with the gift that Mother Nature gave us tonight that you yourself shot this photo and gave it to me here just a bit ago. This is right at sunset from the garage looking over Unity Square. There we are right there at our studios in downtown Salisbury. Beautiful sky earlier this evening. Janet Nicholson in Snow Hill, this was her vantage point out in Worcester County, and Diana Wagner, great shot of the sunset here in Shelltown. So how the weekend's going to look is fantastic. Like Ann said, this is a gift from Mother Nature to the moms out there. We start the weekend off with plenty of sun tomorrow. There will be some high clouds filtering in at times on Sunday. No big deal. It's not going to rain. It's going to be comfortable. No humidity this weekend. A little warmer Mother's Day afternoon with a high of 80. Right now looking good out there at our Morse Roofing and Siding Skycam in downtown Rehoboth Beach. A very comfortable evening, if not becoming cool. It really depends on obviously what you consider cool or uncomfortable, but we get to the mid and upper 50s, not bad. You get a little cooler than that. We could be talking light jackets or sweatshirts here soon. 54 in Salisbury, 56 Ocean City, Dover, right now 53. So the upper low that brought us the rain earlier today and the couple showers here earlier this evening, that thing is now moving off toward New England. The cooler, drier air wrapping in behind it. High pressure's moving in at the surface, kind of putting a stop to any weather, if you will. That's why we're going to have so much sun for tomorrow. And even on Sunday, Mother's Day, some showers building several states to our south. Might send some of those high clouds in our direction, but there will not be a drop of rain until we get to next week. That is something we're guaranteeing here. Northwest, you don't hear that too much from us, right? I guarantee. Northwest breezes continue here for Saturday, which will keep the humidity down. It will be very nice in the afternoon. And we go into Mother's Day, and temperatures will come up just a bit as winds eventually will become more southerly, not necessarily during the day, but at night Sunday going into Monday. We'll start to see the humidity increase, and then naturally the chance for rain will increase. An unsettled pattern setting up for Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, and that will go with scattered showers, some thunderstorms. I know just one giant green blob here on the picture, and it's not a storm system, it's just a weather pattern change that'll promote scattered showers and thunderstorms. So it'll be the occasional on and off chance for potentially some heavy rain at times into next week. 46 to 51 tonight, though. Skies will be mostly clear. 69 to 74 tomorrow with a sunny blue sky. Nice breeze there out in the north and west. Headed to the beaches, looking great out there. Keep that in mind, though, that the UV index is going to be very high tomorrow with that direct sunlight, and not as high, but still high on Mother's Day. So burn factors here going into the weekend are pretty quick. So we're going to be 80 inland Mother's Day afternoon, mid to upper 70s on Monday. Showers and storms will be likely scattered about Tuesday into Wednesday across the mid-Atlantic. So a pretty good shot that you get decent rains. In fact, there's some indication that we could pick up a good inch or more of rain total out of that next event. And then muggier and sticky, if not, Anthony, when we talk about Thursday and Friday, but we will dry out by the end of the week.
Thanks, Rich. We have good weather for tomorrow. James M. Bennett Clippers baseball team has a huge contest with Severna Park on Saturday. Find out what will be one of the keys to win that really important game tomorrow. Stick around. You're watching DSI.
Hello, this is Coach Sherman Wood from Salisbury Football. You're watching Delmarva Sports Insider. Go, go!
Welcome back to Delmarva Sports Insider. The James M. Bennett baseball team is set for a playoff game at home on Saturday versus Savannah Park. They're gearing up for the game today. The team was given a lot of effort at practice as the team is focused on what they need, as it was getting in some hits and some fielding, getting some reps, also working on the small things. Your bunting, their fielding. Last year, James M. Bennett played Savannah Park in the playoffs on their home turf, and they came up short. This year, Bennett looks to get payback in the Shipyard.
Hopefully getting revenge on this team. They're a really solid team, really solid organization, but I feel like our team is prepared this year, and hopefully we can get our revenge. So, yeah, it feels great. I mean, staying home, you know, getting the home crowd and familiar faces, you know, it just makes you feel more comfortable, especially in the playoff environment. You know, going across the bridge is a little more jittery, but, you know, having that satisfaction to stay home is going to definitely help us.
Well, we're going to be rooting for the Clippers on Saturday. Meanwhile, the Delmarva Shorebirds on now a 3-game win streak against the Myrtle Beach Pelicans. With their win tonight, they're now sitting at 10-21 on the season, still in last place in the Carolina League North Division. Tonight on the bump, it was Sebastian Gongora. He gave up 2 runs in 4 innings pitched. Putting the Birds over the top on offense, though, was Cole Ehrman. He went 2 for 4 with 3 runs batted in and a homer. The Shorebirds now on a real streak. That's 3 in a row, topping the Pelicans 9-6 tonight. That's got to feel good for the Birds, right, Anthony?
You know, they're on the road and they're taking on a team. I think they have an opportunity to, get some wins, and that's what they're doing. But they've really reshaped this roster. They keep moving around, adding some left-handers, some right-handers, and moving out a lot of players. And I think that has really been a key to them getting on this 3-game winning streak, is really adding some players that they really needed.
Yeah, and when you look at their schedule, you kind of feel like this is an opportunity for them coming home for a homestand real soon.
That is for sure. Coming up, find out who's going to be the WMDT Athlete of the Week. You're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.
My name is Adam Manning, General Manager of the Salisbury Stakes, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.
Now we can hear me. 55 for Chucky and Louise. Sorry about that, guys. A very comfortable evening here, if not a little on the cool side soon, as there are going to be places dipping into the 40s here before sunrise. So know that to be the case. You're going to be out early for the dog walk tomorrow. Penny Lane from Holly for our Holly Kia dog walking forecast. That was not done on purpose. That's just by chance. Temperatures in the 50s there at 8, and we're going to end up with a wonderful afternoon at 72. So still breezy tomorrow with that cool air moving in, the drier air too. So it's going to be a bit choppy out in the waters. Atlantic Ocean, the Chesapeake, and the Delaware Bays. Everybody's under a small craft advisory tomorrow with that northwest breeze. I don't expect it to be as blustery on Mother's Day, so it'll be a little better out there for marine interest. But the beaches look pretty good. Lots of sun tomorrow and mostly sunny skies Mother's Day, low 70s. And we're going to keep it dry to start next week, as I talked about, and then the increase in rain chances Tuesday and Wednesday, scattered showers and thunderstorms likely during that time period. And then Thursday and Friday, Chris and Anthony, we're talking actually kind of a little summertime feel. The humidity is set to climb and continue to climb. Could be at its highest so far this season by the end of next week.
Thank you so much, Rich. It's time to unveil the WMDT Athlete of the Week. The track and field Bayside Championships were held in Cambridge. One athlete did really well. Torrey Willis Jr. in the 100-meter, 110-meter hurdles, and 300-meter hurdles, as he earned 3 gold medals. The senior also helped Cambridge boys place first overall, beating Kent Island by a single point, 102-101. Congratulations.
And we want to hear who you think should win next week's award. Send in your suggestions to our email, sports@wmdt.com. Send them, guys. You have to send them.
This week on the community calendar, we have Hoops on the Avenue starting Saturday at noon. It's a 3-on-3 street ball tournament with cash prizes, vendors, food, and more.
The tournament's now in its 4th year, but for the first time ever, it's being held at Crown Sports Complex. Here's Crown GM Cody Revel and organizer Karan Jackson on the new setting and what makes it such a fun event for the community.
So we have a lot of resources we can offer as far as staffing, and we're not relying on volunteers now. We have the marketing, the community outreach. A partnership together just makes sense for us because we're now able to take this great event and bring it into a great facility and propel that even further forward.
We have different brackets, like we have elite, then we have like men. So it's always that one guy who's like 50 years old, like, hey, I can still play against that 16-year-old. So that's what I really like the most, just be able to show your talents and everything.
Now, before we go, we have a special person that had a birthday. It was Rich Werzik, our meteorologist, our buddy. Happy birthday, my friend.
Happy birthday, Rich.
Happy birthday.
Happy belated
Next time
birthday.
we'll have to get you some cake with some candles on it.
Don't go too crazy this weekend, Rich. Hope you have something nice planned for Mother's Day.
Well, Chris, we had a lot of fun, but you know what time it is. We have to say goodbye, but we do want to quickly say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
We love you. Love you, Mom.
That's going to do it for tonight. As always, thank you so much for watching.
And be sure to keep up with us this weekend all over social media.
Have a great night.